Welcome to Millennial Pagan Podcast, the podcast that's discussing hot topics and issues surrounding the pagan world from a millennial perspective. We're your hosts, Autumn Wolf.
And Jera Stone. And we have actually the local coordinator for Phoenix Pagan Pride.
And repeat guest.
We have Miss Lara with us.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How have you been since the last time we saw you?
So busy.
So busy?
So busy.
We're getting close to Phoenix Pagan Pride Day.
Has it really almost been a year?
It really has.
Oh, man.
We got like
For
3
real.
months.
Oh, jeez.
To get
It's
our
less
stuff
than
together.
3 months.
Oh, goodness. Why did you say that?
Yeah. It's like 54 days or something like that.
I have our banner. That's it, guys. Sorry. We'll just have a banner and our smiling faces.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lara's back to talk about a new topic this time. The theme for Phoenix Pagan Pride Day 2019 is...
The Triple Goddess.
So we're going to talk about what is the triple goddess. If you guys have been studying paganism or witchcraft for a long time, skip ahead all the way to the halftime show, and then we'll actually talk about pagan pride stuff, or keep a listen. You might learn something you've never known before. Everybody else, get ready to learn stuff.
Well, I learned stuff I didn't even know.
Oh, well, then don't skip ahead.
Yeah, don't skip ahead.
Don't skip ahead.
There were things.
Listen to the whole episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Definitely.
Yay. All right. So what is the basic definition of the triple goddess in neo-paganism?
So the basic definition, usually when people talk about the triple goddess, real basic, they're talking about the phases of the moon. Waxing, full, and waning. People also talk about the maiden, the nymph, and the mother, or the maiden, mother, and the crone, or people in general. If you're talking about the Romans, the goddess Diana, she was considered a triple goddess. She was a goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld. If you're talking about Celtic triple goddess, they talk about Brigid, or the Morrigan, or Caradwyn. It's basically you're talking about the divine trinity.
Right. And that can also apply to Christianity's divine trinity,
It
too.
absolutely does.
But obviously not a goddess,
Right.
per se. So you said a word that I'm not familiar with, the nymph. What is that? Oh, should we just start talking about the different
You want to talk about nymphs?
phases?
Nymphs?
Sure.
Nymphs?
It does sound dangerous.
So just the basic, well, a nymph, a lot of people will consider nymph as something like, they're in the same, and some people are going to argue with me. I don't care.
That's fine.
Nymphs are in the same category as like a sprite or a fairy or the fae. Basically, it's somebody who likes to cause trouble, and they have a lot of fun. That's something that that Robert Graves had mentioned. That's his term that he uses, the nymph.
Right.
But everybody has their own definition. Some people will think of the story of Persephone, Demeter, who is the mother of Persephone. So there's the mother, the maiden, and then the crone would be Hecate. So there's a lot of different definitions. There was also something that I read not that long ago. I tried to find it online, but I couldn't find it. Somebody was actually saying that she was offended by the meaning of the triple goddess because it's so outdated. And I can understand that from that perspective.
But it's really all in one's interpretation of it.
Right.
Right. I know. But
in fact, that there was a conversation about that when you posed this as the option for the theme, and I was like, you guys are missing the point.
Right. So the reason why we have the poster the way we do, it's you see an image of 3 people, and you can see them as 3 women. Some people might see them as 3 men. You get to see them as however you want.
Mm-hmm.
They can be black, white, green, purple, or red. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's supposed to represent whatever it is that you feel drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of my favorite sayings is there's more than one way up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one way. So, everybody gets to see, you're not subjected to something that is somebody else's image of what they think this is.
Right.
It can be whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people, their opinions change. They learn or they don't learn. Or, anything can happen. So I wanted it that way specifically so anybody could see it the way that they wanted to.
Right, of course.
And yeah, I know the conversation you're talking about. Someone got very offended and I went, okay, we're going to stop talking about it for a while.
I know. And I was like, you're missing a great learning opportunity because at least guys who don't already know, or listeners who don't already know, this is something that you learn pretty much basically in your first intro book, what is the Triple Goddess, Maiden, Mother, Crone. And so that's 101 basic knowledge. And it's a great way to have a bridge for people to come into, and then you offer things that vary and widen their knowledge base. And that's the same thing. You don't walk into a library or a school or a museum and you get the college professor level knowledge. You get the intro and then you dive deeper into the museum or whatever you're learning, and you get more and more. And that, I think your approach or picking that theme is a good idea for the large majority of the community. It suits and fits everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm going this way for a very specific reason, because last year, if you'll remember, the theme was the traveler. Or the hero's journey.
Right.
It was about going through the doorway and making a discovery of something new. This year, it's about the Triple Goddess. Next year, I already have the theme for next year. I'll tell you what it is.
Ooh. Everybody ready?
The theme for next year is going to be the Horned God and the Green Man.
Ooh, I like it. Yes.
Wow.
And that's really great because we're on the cusp it when we're...
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited, really excited about that, because I've kind of started studying a little bit about the Green Man, just because recently I came kind of to the interpretation that pretty much a character, a beloved character of mine, Hagrid from the Harry Potter series, is kind of a homage to the Green Man. And so it's kind of like one of those, I'm going to be studying it a lot more now.
I actually have a story about the Green Man that my aunt experienced not that long ago. Was it be okay if I share it real quick?
Of course.
Yeah.
So my Aunt Carol, who lives in Virginia, she lives on Blue Mountain. She does the same stuff that we do.
Right.
She dreams for people. She dreams seeing them in light. She dreams seeing them getting better, achieving their goals, whatever. She's also an artist, and she is really, really close to nature. So she told me about this one time when she was very, very ill. She thought she was going to pass away, and she communes with nature and with all of the animals that are around her property. So she was lying in bed, feeling miserable, and then she looked outside and there was this green orb. And it came through her window and went into her stomach and it healed her. And she saw the image of the Green Man. And she said it was like, it was kind of like he was giving her all the necessary herbs to heal her.
That's awesome.
It was pretty amazing.
Awesome. So going back to the Triple Goddess, let's go ahead and start with how would you teach that class as a 101 class, the Triple Goddess? Let's just go ahead and do it that way.
Okay, so...
And we'll interject our basic questions and experienced questions as is.
Yep.
I would probably start with really simple. I would start off with Well, triple goddess, usually, we talked about how people talked about the phases of the moon, and then would go into Celtic mythology.
Right.
And I would talk about the goddess Brigid.
Okay.
Brigid is the goddess of healing, smithcraft, and poetry.
Right.
So that's why she's a triple goddess. The Morrigan is one of 3 sisters.
Right.
Caradwyn is also one of 3 sisters. And then there are a lot of different aspects. I think probably the best way to do it would be just to tell people a bunch of different stories from Greek mythology. Because they talked about, there was one I came upon today where they talked about, I think it was Hera, Aphrodite, and Athena was also known as a triple goddess. So I can see that. But that's probably how I would go about it.
All right. Awesome. So, in your experience, if you had to define a maiden or the maiden goddess, what would you...
Maiden is someone who is anywhere from the age of 12 to 17. That's somebody who hasn't been touched by anyone. Anywhere from the age of 18 till, I'll say, 35 would be the mother, or maybe a little bit older would be the mother.
Right.
And then from 55 on would be the crone. And then there are some people who crone earlier than others, or they're never a mother, but they're still considered mothers of other things, like mother of dragons.
Very true.
Mother of cats or dogs. It doesn't have to be mother of a person.
Right.
It can be anything.
Yeah, it could also be a mother of experience, too.
Could be that, too.
Yeah.
Mother of the group.
Den mother, yes.
You roll your eyes like, I know these.
Yeah, I know. Like everybody that I work with, I'm like, yeah, I know. I remember when I was your age.
So which goddesses would you list as maidens?
I think Diana's a good maiden. Aphrodite could go either way.
Right.
Athena, maybe. There's a lot of different goddesses that could be maidens.
The mothers, we already said Brigid fits in motherhood.
Right.
Demeter, we already said, fits in motherhood. Nature goddesses are usually mothers.
Isis. She would be a mother, definitely.
Right.
Astarte. Medusa. I would call her a mother. And then the crone would be the obvious ones. Caradwyn could be a mother or a crone. Hecate would be the crone.
Friend of the podcast and previous guest, Carol Brown's new book, Queen of Swords and Silence, published by Three Fates Press, is now available in paperback and for the Kindle through Amazon. A literal man-eater, Ghost was born damaged. A Valkyrie without a purpose. Working as an enforcer and servant to the grumpy master of the Well of Knowledge doesn't leave Ghost a lot of time to dwell on the small stuff. Like why her Valkyrie sisters call her an abomination, why Odin has abandoned her, or why her possessed sword Silence can't figure out a simple haiku. When she's hired to assassinate a mythic gone bad, her problems continue to multiply. Not only are mythics disappearing, but she has been tasked to retrieve a missing book from Odin that leaves her with a lot more questions than answers. Ghost discovers there's a lot more going on behind the scenes of the mythic realm than she once thought. Ghost doesn't take responsibility for her actions often, but when she does, it's because she doesn't want the world to end. If you like Harry Dresden, Marcy Tompkins, or Kate Daniels' series, you'll enjoy Queen of Swords and Silence. So,
and something else that I just thought of. Somebody else was saying that, like Arthurian maidens, that could be maiden under crone.
Oh.
I thought that was interesting.
Like who in Arthurian legend would be?
Like it would be Guinevere. The Lady of the Lake.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess there would. Yeah, I could see that.
Would then Morgan Le Fay be the crone?
I would have to say, yeah. I don't know who else it would be.
Unless you put Guinevere as the mother and then the Lady of the Lake as the crone.
You could
But
do
then that wouldn't...
But there's so much that's open for discussion for who could be what. So.
Right, yeah. And that's an ongoing thing, so...
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's all going to be mostly open to interpretation, how you want to take it and how you want to roll with it.
Yeah, there's certain goddesses that are classically labeled, but then, I mean, why not break the classics?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other goddesses that you work with. They might tell you, no, this is what I am. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's what they are to you and not anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too.
Right.
Right.
You know, I find it. I actually found it really interesting because this year I went to California Witch Camp and we were studying Hecate. Mm-hmm. And for me, the most prolific visage of Hecate is the three goddesses, the triple goddess. So when I found out that we were kind of going with this theme this year for Pagan Pride, it's like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm listening now. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and roll with this.
Right.
Yeah.
I almost got a Crossroads Hecate pillar on my arm instead of what I have, and all black and white. And now that after I've been such a wuss about what I have, I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't choose that. Ow.
Yeah. Well, I got my Hecate on me, my Hecate symbol now.
I know.
So
yeah.
I love it.
So what was one of your favorite stories that you read while preparing for us?
I would say the story of Persephone.
Okay, and that's actually a really good point. Maybe we should go over that for people because Wendy Rule, who will also be at Phoenix Pagan Pride's new album, is Persephone and the story of Persephone.
Right, and also Noah Brown, who's going to be doing story time for the kids, is going to do the story of Persephone.
Awesome, and then Kellyanna has a really good Persephone song too. So
she does. I love it. It's going through my head right now.
So some pomegranates time, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So the story of Persephone. We could do that together. Go ahead and start.
So, story of Persephone. Once upon a time, there was a goddess named Demeter, and she had her daughter Persephone. Yeah, Stephanie.
Corey.
Right.
Cora.
Right.
And Cora meant maiden.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they lived together happily. And then one day, Persephone, she was playing in a meadow and she got tricked to eat the pomegranate. No, the pomegranate was later.
Oh, yeah, it was much later.
You're going to have to take over because I'm just not doing so great today.
No, I understand. Guys, we're actually recording on a different day than we normally do.
Yeah.
So last episode, remember all that silliness? We're just going to keep boiling it down. But so in the classic story, or the story you probably heard, is that Persephone's playing in a meadow and Hades sees her and desires her as a object, as a thing that he wants to own, as a young maiden female. The classical story, as it's written down, does include rape. I'm going to go with a lot of neo-pagan females these days and go, maybe her mom just didn't like her boyfriend. That's okay. Because her boyfriend was technically her uncle.
Technically.
Persephone, or at this point in the story, Corey, is the child of Demeter and Zeus. So, yes, Hades being Zeus's brother means that she eventually marries her uncle. She spends time in the underworld, questionable amounts of time, because Demeter becomes extremely distraught. There's years and years of time where Demeter refuses to allow things to grow and bloom, and as the goddess of the earth and nature, it's a pretty big deal because then humans are dying of famine, drought, so on and so forth, yarda, yarda, yar. And at one point, Demeter settles down in a place, and the humans build her a temple, and she kind of gets really kind of closed off and like mopey, and she has her temple, leave her alone. But as she's searching for her daughter, she makes a friend who can travel both through the world of the living and the world of the dead. And that friend has a lantern.
Yes.
That friend
is Hecate.
Hecate. And this is one of like 3 times that Hecate is actually written down. So the fact that she has such a huge following these days is a testament to her survival.
Mm-hmm.
And in some of the old classical ones, she's not a crone. She's a maiden as well, and is close friends with Persephone in the underworld while she's in the underworld. One major point, Persephone, the whole time she's in the underworld, refuses to eat because she knows if she eats, she's stuck there. And so Hecate travels with Demeter in the underworld. They find Persephone. Persephone says, yeah, I'm here with Hades, and he wants me to be his wife, and I haven't ate anything yet, don't worry. So Demeter goes to Zeus, and she's like, Zeus, what the fuck? Can you fix this? This is my kid. And he's like, I really need you to start making things green because people are dying and they're not worshiping me.
Yeah.
And it's a problem because it's all about Zeus. It really is all about Zeus.
Yes, it is.
So Demeter's like, well, I need my kid. Give me my kid back and I'll start making things green. And Zeus is like, all right, Hades, can you do something? He's like, no, she's my wife, man. Don't take away my girlfriend. We're having a really awesome sleepover.
Oh my god.
Like, imagine with the blue hair and the no.
Right?
Yep. So
I'm seeing like a 80s teenage drama movie.
Thank you. So Persephone is being played by Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, I can see that.
That Loke's shaking his head like, yes, yes. So
Eddie Murphy is Hades.
yeah, so
Oh, God.
Oh. Scarred for life here, guys.
Yeah.
No.
So
I
glad I
had to
wasn't
say
drinking water at that point.
No, Johnny Depp.
Ooh.
Ooh, 80s Johnny Depp.
Zeus, John Travolta.
Yeah.
I just make that look
In
just
the
like
disco
cringe.
Yes, in a zoot
Disco
suit.
Yep.
A white zoot suit with a gold tie.
Yeah.
And he has to have a silver tie back, or what's the thing that they slip on to keep the tie straight?
Tie pin.
Tie pin, yes, with a little lightning bolt. Telok doesn't like me right now. Anyway, so Zeus is like, dude, you really need to give her back her daughter. Like, people are starving and dying and nobody's worshiping me. This is really messing up my image. So Hades is like, fine, all right. He goes back down to the underworld and he says, all right, your mom wants you back. Now, if you're thinking of the possibility of the rape story, starving, broken, distraught Korra is just, yay, I'm going to my mother. And he's like, for your strength, eat this pomegranate. Or you're thinking, damn, I have to go see my mom. All right, fine. What am I going to tell her? All right. Oh, that's a pomegranate? I like pomegranates. I'll have 6 seeds. I mean, I am kind of hungry. Snack time's been long since 2 months ago. So either way, she eats 6 seeds. And when she gets up to the world of the living, and this comes about to be knowledge to Zeus and Demeter, they're both very distraught because that kind of breaks the thing Demeter and Zeus had. And he goes, okay, well, that technically means that she belongs in the underworld. So Zeus is like, all right. She only had 6 seeds. For 6 months out of the year, she will be with Hades. For 6 months out of the year, she'll be with Demeter. And so that's how we have the seasons. And that's the story of how the seasons go about.
Ancient custody battle.
Right? I need to go visit my mom. But when her name comes about as Persephone, and the duality of this maiden goddess is that Persephone means the destroyer or the bringer of destruction. Cora means maiden and flower goddess. So a lot of those memes that you've been seeing, that she's both the maiden of spring and flowers and destruction and death. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she really is, and she holds that in duplicity really awesomely. And then all the other people saying that, can we get them marriage counseling before the world ends, please? I also agree with that.
Yeah.
All I can hear in my head right now is John Travolta.
Oh no, with the
That's it. He's dancing.
Well,
and this is how, how he does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, the point.
The disco point.
Oh, the disco point's the lightning.
Yeah, that's the lightning.
Okay, guys, while we try and get the image of John Travolta Zeus out of our heads, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. Millennial Pagan Podcast is exclusively supported by Patreon. Listeners like you can gain great benefits from your favorite show, such as...
At $1 a month, you get a personalized shout-out at the end of the next full-length episode.
At $5 a month, you receive a thank you card in the mail with a Millennial Pagan Podcast button and sticker enclosed. Additionally, $5 a month supporters have access to our monthly 30-minute minisodes.
Patreon supporters are also the first to learn about new and exciting updates to Millennial Pagan Podcast.
More benefits and exclusive content to come.
All right, and we're back. So just really quick before we get into the second half of the show, I just want to just say a little bit of a thank you and hello to a couple of friends that met over at Salbington Con this weekend. Pretty much just wanted to say hi and thank you for stopping by the booth and saying hi to me and recognizing who I was from this show, even though I am just a faceless nobody.
You're not a faceless nobody. You're a hairy faceless nobody.
Yes, I am a hairy faceless nobody.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely get in contact with us, support us, and just spread the word. You guys are doing awesome out there.
Yep.
If you want to be technical, he's a haggard faceless nobody.
That is true.
Okay. All right. Technicalities. All right. I've been corrected.
So we kind of talked a little bit about the triple goddess and kind of going into the aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But of course, what we really want to talk about as well during the second half,
yes,
is Pagan Pride.
Phoenix Pagan Pride Day 2019. So you kind of hinted that you got a lot of awesome things about to go on that's different from last year.
Oh my gosh. Well, this year I've actually had more time to prepare because last year I only had 6 months.
Right. So this year 12.
This year I've had the full month, the whole year, and I started planning last year. I'm like, I already know what I want to do. So I'm going to. So before I get into that, I just want to mention real quick that I'm going to be going to Tawn Fall Fest in Tucson in 2 weeks. And this year it's going to be at Mystic Candles and Metaphysical. I have that posted up on the Facebook site. And I'm going to be promoting Pagan Pride, and I'm also going to be giving a talk on manifestation, candle magic, and empaths.
Nice.
Awesome.
So for any Tucson listeners or anybody who's going down there, come by and say hi.
You should definitely go, because it'll be a super fun time.
Awesome, yeah.
So...
And that was the first event that we as a podcast was out in the wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go check them out. That's Tucson area Witches and Pagans Fall Festival.
Right.
Awesome. Hey, I remembered.
Yeah. Also on October 5th at North Mountain Park, we're having a chili cook-off and raffle.
For Phoenix
It's a
Pagan Pride
fundraiser
Day.
for Phoenix Pagan Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you guys can come out and join us. It'll be all super fun times. So anyway, okay, so now I'm going to talk about Pagan Pride.
Pride!
Okay.
Woo!
Yay!
So much going on this year.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this year, like last year, we're having 3 ceremonies. We're having morning, midday, and afternoon. The morning ceremony is going to be done by Alexis Showers, and she is the owner of, I'm scrolling to it, the Crow and Owl. It's an apothecary at Central and Thomas. So she's going to be doing our morning ritual.
She will also be on Millennial Pagan Podcast, our next full-length episode.
Da, 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 da.
Da, da,
Nice.
da, da.
Midday ritual is going to be done by Arizona. Oh, crap.
Sacred Spiral
Church of Arizona.
Yeah.
They have such a long name, I get tangled up in the beginning and the middle, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
And they're a non-denominational pagan church.
yes, they are. And then our evening ceremony is going to be headed by Courtney Weber.
Woo, Courtney Weber.
And
And what has she written?
her latest book, let's see, she's the author of Tarot Advisor, Witch Author, Tarot Advisor, and Activist, and here we go. In fact, her book, The Morrigan, is going to be coming out at that time. She should have copies of it.
Woo! Awesome.
Nice.
I'm going to have to buy that.
Yes.
And Izzy's going to have to buy that, our previous guest on Celtic Reconstructive Religions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 really awesome rituals.
Mm-hmm. We have some really fantastic musicians that are going to be there this year.
Yes.
We're going to have Kellyanna Gerard, who's very well known. I was actually pretty surprised. I didn't realize how well known she was out here.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna Green, who is a harpist.
Mm-hmm.
She is a Emmy-nominated songwriter for a independent film.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Wendy Rule.
Yep, who we just said, and her most recent album is Persephone.
Mm-hmm. We're also going to have Celia Ferran, and if you haven't seen her, she's absolutely fantastic. She's a lot of fun to watch. She's very involved with the audience. She's amazing. And then we have another musician who's a guitarist. His name is Adam Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around for a while. We also have this is something that I wanted last year. We're gonna have it this year. We're gonna have Wandering Minstrels.
Yeah.
Um,
And our wandering minstrels this year are going to be previous guests.
Far From Home.
Far from home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're just a blast. They're so fun.
As you guys heard on our polyamory episode.
Yep.
And heads up, Tim will be coming back for a history lesson in October.
Nice.
So then we also have Goblin Market's going to be back.
Yep, like last year.
For those of you who aren't familiar, they're going to have a table. It's going to be full of all kinds of different odds and ends for you to trade. They don't take money. So you can trade marbles, feathers, string, an idea, or a dream, or a thought. It sounds kind of funny, but
The kids love it.
the kids
Yeah.
love it. He's a lot of fun. Robert's
Yep.
a really great guy.
Mhm.
Or the Market Master. I should call him the Market Master.
And he's in full costume. He looks so fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it.
In fact, he got invited out to Labyrinth of Jareth this year.
Mhm.
So that'll be cool to hear about. Because he went out last year and they wanted him back. So
Yeah.
And then for other Arizona natives, I know you have a storyteller who's been at Arizona Ren Fair.
yeah, his name is Noah Brown, and he's going to tell the story of Persephone to the kids.
Right.
Great guy. Great
Oh,
storyteller.
yeah, he's so fun.
He is. He's Shakespearean, so it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. And he's going to be in tent number 3 at 10 a.m.
Now,
Yes.
I have one big question.
What?
Because I just want to make sure that we're going to be getting some of the best hot dogs that I've ever had.
Oh,
I just want to make sure he's coming back.
He is coming back.
He practically signed the check of make me come back next year before.
Yeah.
He had so much fun.
No, he did. Nick is he's family now.
Good.
So he's coming back. Der worst hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Der best hot dogs.
Yeah.
The worst hot dogs are the best hot dogs.
Right.
Yeah. Last year, there was a little bit of a debacle. I don't know if we said it in our episode on recapping our Pride venture, was that you were supposed to have 3 other food vendors.
Yeah, the other 2 flaked out.
Yeah, and so he kind of was the only show in town. He had vegetarian and vegan options.
Which I didn't know, so that was nice to know. So this year he's going to be...
Oh, yeah.
Stocked.
At one point when I went up, I asked him, I was like, how are you doing? He's like, oh, this is great. I was like, have you made your money back? He's like, I don't even care anymore. This is the funnest thing ever. I've sent people back to the store to get more food.
Yeah, he sold out twice.
He made his bank, most definitely, and he had a great time doing it. So heads up if you know somebody who has a food truck or something that wants to get in on this action. It's worth it. Don't flake out on us. We had so much fun.
We actually, I'm meeting with Jerry Group on Wednesday. We're going to be finalizing all of that stuff. So we're going to have at least one more food truck and a sweet truck.
Ooh, sweets.
And next year I told her we need to have a coffee truck.
I came with a 32-ounce iced coffee when I got there, so yeah.
we might just have to bring a coffee maker. Just have it set up.
Tap my vein. Come on. I needed it by the end of the day. By the way, guys, I know we're talking a lot about last year and maybe some things you don't know about. We did a couple of different episodes last year that you might want to go back and listen to if you haven't already. The first time Lara was on, we explained what exactly is Pagan Pride, the organization, how to get in touch with them, and how to build your own at home. And then we had our recap after we were there, and we also recorded an episode while there. We're going to be doing both those things again this year. So, spoilers on great stuff to come. So many spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and yeah, we're going to be there too. So
yeah, well, of course.
Come say hi.
Yeah, we're going to have an awesome booth. It's going to look fantastic.
Oh, and you guys are going to be interviewing Kellyanna and Wendy Rule.
Yeah, while there.
And Jenna.
So
I'm excited.
It's going to be amazing.
When Wendy confirmed, I was like...
No, fangirl, yay!
I was like, yay!
I gotta make sure to bring my my conductor wand.
Oh,
because I have a wand specifically for music magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that I want to bring and have them just give a little magic into as well.
Yeah, just have it out while people are playing and stuff, because we'll be right there next to the music too. So while you're enjoying the music, you can come and say hi.
We're also going to have the way that we're going to have the food trucks set up this year, we're going to have them in the same area.
Right.
But across from the food trucks, we're going to have a seating area with a couple of tents. So you don't have to buy your food and then walk around and eat it if you don't want to. There'll be seating for a good number of people.
Yay!
Nice. What else? We have a bunch of workshops. Kellyanna is going to do a workshop. It's called Ancestral Journey Chant Circle. Ooh. And what else are we going to have? We're going to have another woman, Bella McDermott. She's going to talk about... Come on, see more. I do want to see more. Bella McDermott is going to talk about Pagan is as Pagan does. Every moment is magical. We have Renee Demoiselle.
A previous guest.
Yes, she's going to be doing her talk about badass chicks of mythology.
Ooh, that's going to be fun, guys.
We're going to have talks on Reiki.
Nice.
We also have, who else are we going to have? So I have to say that we have a lot of new people, and we also have some people who have been part of the community who previously weren't at Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody new to not really new to the community, but she has her a new space. Zombie Apothecary.
Ooh, yeah.
She has a lot of Santorian. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing shop. If you haven't been there, you walk in and you feel comfortable right away.
Yeah.
Now, I know we were talking a little bit earlier about the Triple Goddess and kind of giving like a 101. Is there going to be like a little bit of an advanced course?
Yeah, Autumn's going to be teaching that.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Nice.
I'm going to be teaching Expanding the Triple Goddess. A lot of my source material is going to be Jailbreaking the Goddess by Schnapps. I was unprepared. See, I'm in.
So, yeah.
By Schnapps. I like it.
Schnapps.
And we still have actually we have one space open for somebody if anybody wants to do a workshop. One of them filled up today, and then my workshop coordinator, Cynthia, she said, "So Lara, so you want to do?" And I said, "No. No. I'm going to be too busy."
Sunshine. Ask
Probably.
her. Yeah.
We'll ask her when we go out.
A lot of my source material is going to be based in Jailbreaking the Goddess, the work by Lara Firefox Allen.
Okay.
Yep. So it's more of an expansion on what is the Triple Goddess. How does modern neo-paganism look at it and kind of make it fit more of how the world is changing, how gender roles are changing, and all that loveliness.
So one of the surprises that I was really shocked about, that I found out the other day, Genevieve from Zombie Apothecary told me that she's going to be sharing her space with Jan Ross Books and Gifts.
Ooh.
And if you don't know who Jan Ross is, you need to look her up, because she's been part of the community for years and years. Last year I went up to their shop to give them a poster, and the girl that was there didn't seem like she was really interested, and like, okay, whatever. And now all of a sudden, you know what? I think I want to be interested, and I want to be a part of it. And I went, all right, cool. And then somebody else, another shop who signed up, which really surprised me, was Vision Quest.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Nice.
So, big surprise. Lots of big surprises this year.
Yep. And for those of you who have troubling skin, I know the half-assed hippie will be there as well. And her soaps are specially blended for people who have like rosacea and...
Eczema.
Thank you. Yeah, eczema and other types of just bad, irritated skin problems, like mine. Or is mine irritating?
A little column A, a little column B.
All right, so we're also going to have a kids area this year again, like we did last year.
And I think there's a specific fairy who's going to be running it.
Yes, although it's the fairy formerly known as Siggy. We could go that way.
Okay. All right. I have not seen the fairy formerly known as Siggy for a while.
Well, that's not what she's calling herself. She's changed her name. She's rebranded herself. So
congratulations.
Her name is Ash.
Okay.
And she's running the kids booth. Please remember that my volunteers are not babysitters.
Yes.
Please make sure if you're bringing your kid to the kids booth to draw, to make art, or whatever it is that they're going to be doing, please make sure that you're within ear's range.
Don't just drop them off.
Yeah, I won't be happy about that.
No. And we talked a lot about that last year, and we probably should have talked about that in our Don't Be a Dick episode. I mean, how to prepare for a pagan event episode.
Yes.
We did call it Don't Be a Dick a lot. And yeah,
it is.
Call it how you see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
How not to be a dick at a pagan public event.
Don't push people out of the way.
Yeah, no.
Be polite. Hold open doors and stuff like that.
Lines are okay.
Right?
It's fine to be in the line the proper way.
Right?
Also, don't chew out your your reader, your tarot reader, or make them keep you longer than needed.
Oh, gee. Yeah, so we're going to have the spirit room again this year.
Woo!
So the people who are in the spirit room are readers and healers who are donating their time to give you a reading or a healing. And tips are nice. They're not necessary, but you're allowed to tip them a couple bucks. We also have other readers and healers who are going to be in that area. So what I'm calling that area this year is the self-care space. That's where you can go and get a reading or a healing. Mm-hmm. And then you can go, we have a Kelly Green Nails and Spa is going to be there this year.
Ooh.
They're going to do mini manis and facials.
Oh.
And then after you get your mini mani and facial, you can go next door to, I think, what is she called? Hold on. Dark Moon Henna. Get a little bit of henna.
Jera, I think I'm leaving you at the booth.
But I want henna too.
Okay.
You can get henna.
We'll get henna together. Wait, we can't do that. Mostly Talok's like, no, don't leave him. Sorry, guys, we can't leave Sound Guy for you guys to go and, like, hoard and rip clothes off. And I've got his sweatband! It's from Hercules.
Yeah.
Disney Child.
So then we're also, I think last year, remember, we talked about having a dragon egg hunt.
Yes!
Mm-hmm. It didn't go over.
Right.
It was, sorry about that. But this year, I've been working very closely with Stormwind's HQ, and there is going to be a dragon hunt this year. Dragon egg hunt, and we're going to, more on that as it becomes available. I did post it on the Facebook site, and you can go on and take a look at it. There's going to be 3 different hunts. Mm-hmm. There'll be a map, there'll be clues. It'll be fun. You'll get to see what kind of dragon egg that you could possibly win.
Ooh.
Nice.
And she makes them all.
Wow. So that sounds like there's going to be a lot of really awesome things at Phoenix Pagan Pride Day this year, which is going to be at Steel Indian School Park in, Phoenix. And that's going to be on November 2nd from
9 to 5.
So come check it out. We'll obviously be there, as we've said numerous times. A bunch of really awesome people are going to be there. People we've talked to, people we haven't talked to yet, but are going to. We're going to be recording a really awesome show for you guys who are way too far remote. But, if you're in the vicinity, if it's a drive that you can make, do it. We're going to have some free buttons and stuff, and we're going to have fun. We want to meet you guys. So drop us a line, come visit our booth.
And we might even do a couple of live, like Facebook Live things on there.
Yeah, and your mini-sode, or at least Patreon supporters, will have a video of my class. I don't know if it'll be the whole class. Just technology pending.
Yeah.
How the technology works is how that's going to happen. Obviously, we'll post plenty of pictures on our Instagram, so those peeps out there that are listening that are going, I'm way too far away, but your Pride sounds awesome. Yeah, we'll post some stuff. I have to apologize to my Atlanta family that you guys don't get a Pride this year, and I'm really sorry. Yeah, the organizers had a little bit of a problem with their location, so they said that we're going to focus 100% on 2020. So when I saw that, I was like, but our Pride's gonna rock. So
buy plane tickets, get out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Really, there's a lot of really great pagan people in Atlanta that I kind of want to just drag out here and kidnap for a little while, like Spiral Rhythm and some other people. So shout out to them.
I actually got contacted by somebody not long ago who asked about camping out for Pagan Pride, and I'm like, it's in the middle of the city, so
camping out would be in the Hilton.
Yeah, that would have to be it.
Yep. So we're going to say thank you to Rad Rambo and Tara for your Patreon support.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you are a $5 donator, please be patient. Your items will be in the mail very shortly. And Jera, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Of course, you can always find me on my Instagram. That's Hagrid_cosplay. Just put up a bunch of new pictures on there. So if you guys want to take a look and follow. Mm-hmm. And of course on Twitter at Jera Stone.
Awesome. Okay. And Lara, where can they find out more about Phoenix Pagan Pride Day or even yourself?
They can find out more about Phoenix Pagan Pride Day if they go on to Facebook. PaganPridePhoenix.com is our website. If you want to find out more about me, my business is Lara's Tangled Web. Mm-hmm. I make dream catchers and I teach classes regularly at Everything Just Rocks, which is another one of our major sponsors. I also have to mention our third biggest sponsor,
Woo!
Which is Fantasia Crystals.
Thank you, Fantasia. And Fantasia is an awesome place. I would totally suggest it for people who are looking for a place to get just pagan books. Mm-hmm. Me being the book nerd, I walk in there and I'm like, oh.
I took Sunshine there for the first time ever a couple of weeks ago.
She was like, so many books.
Yes.
They actually just donated a large amount of books to us for a raffle.
Oh,
nice.
Oh no.
It was all stuff that they didn't have room for anymore because they were bringing in new releases. So
yay.
That's awesome.
I'm going to go in there. I have some oldies but goodies on my need list, so I'm so excited. All right. And of course, you guys can find me at WordPress at Iron Wolf Circle, and you can find me on the Twitter as Autumn Wolf and on Facebook as Autumn Wolf, and our Instagram is Millennial Pagan Podcast or Pagan Pod. You can also find us at Twitter as Pagan Pod and on Facebook at Millennial Pagan Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening, and feel free to drop us a line. Also, I'm making a shout out. Please, wherever you're listening to us, give us a 5-star review. It really helps.
Yes, it does.
So thank you, and merry meet.
Merry part.
And merry meet again.